European countries reportedly considering using a trade bazooka against the U.S. for threatening tariffs over Greenland. Former U.S. Ambassador to Denmark, Carla Sands, joins me now. Madam Ambassador, will the Europeans negotiate or retaliate? Which way do you think they're going to go?
Stuart, I don't think they go with Macron's suggestion. I think they work something out with President Trump. I think the wisest thing, since they don't hold any of the cards, would be to work with him and to get behind him in this effort. It helps them almost as much as it helps the Western Hemisphere and the United States with our security. Now,
obviously you spent good time in Denmark as America's ambassador there.
And Greenland.
And Greenland. Tell me about the way the Danes feel here. I'm told that they just can't understand why Trump wants to own Greenland. Did you pick that up when you were there?
Yeah. Yes, because in 2019, President Trump was talking about this same subject. And in fact, they're very upset. But in 2019, President Trump, he talked to the current prime minister in his first administration and said, look, Greenland's not secure. You need to be doing more. Because they only had, when I was ambassador, about 30 guys in Greenland and 2 dog sled teams. So she said, OK, Mr. President, we're going to invest $200 million into Greenland security. Flash forward, she invested 1% of that, $2 million only, and it wasn't even into Greenland security. So you can't take the Danes at their word. They're going to retrade whatever deal he tries to do to get that island, the world's largest island, secure. And because it's so important for our nation's security and the Golden Dome that he's building, it's Alaska and Greenland that are key to this, and especially Greenland's early warning radar system. Because of the retrading and the unreliability of agreements that can be struck, I think he's right. I thought he might do a COFA. It looks like he wants an outright purchase, and now it's just debating what is the price.
I'm also told that the Greenlanders themselves, 50-odd, 60,000 of them, they rely heavily on welfare from Denmark. Is that accurate?
It is. So every year, Denmark sends them around $600 million. It's about 20% of their budget. But they rely on that. And what it does, because Denmark is such a small country with limited resources, is they've never developed Greenland. They don't even have one road between 2 towns, for instance, even though people in Greenland want this. So Denmark can't afford to develop Greenland. They can't afford to defend it. It's like, Stuart, if you own a house or a building and you can't afford to take care of it, upkeep, you have to sell it. Well, that's kind of where we're at. And as a matter of fact, because of this issue that Denmark can't afford to develop or defend Greenland, they're actually in violation of Article 3 of the NATO treaty. Article 3 says that every NATO ally has the ability to defend their own territory. Denmark has never been able to defend Greenland. And because of that, President Trump is really aware of the danger, just like he's looking at Venezuela and getting that in a better place, working with Mexico, Cuba, Canada even. This is important for his reordering the new Trump doctrine. It's no longer the Monroe Doctrine or the Donroe. It is the Trump doctrine of the secure Western Hemisphere on behalf of all Americans, but also our NATO allies. Because, Stuart, if someone else controls Greenland, we can't get to our NATO allies. They will control what's in the air and under the water and on the water, too. That's trade and defense.
Do we have to own Greenland? I mean, possess it, as opposed to just lease it or get an agreement to put some bases there. Is ownership the key to this, really?
Well, we have a base there. We used to occupy Greenland during World War II. But, Stuart, because it's so uncertain, look at how Denmark has changed toward us. Look at how they've poisoned the mind of the Greenlanders. You never know what foreign adversary. Look at the CCP kind of, influence operations around the world. How hard would it be to influence 57,000 people? Well, ask the Danes, because they've poisoned the minds of the Greenlanders toward the United States just in President Trump's first year back in office. So I think that he is on the right track. I don't know what the end result will look like, but I do know that President Trump, who wrote the book, The Art of the Deal, is going to get a good deal for all Americans and our allies.
Okay, Carla Sands, Madam Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.
Sure thing.